Welcome to REELaTVity. On this channel, I'll be doing movie reviews and recommendations from a real-world perspective done in an immersive way that you hopefully haven't seen before. I also plan on eventually expanding into TV shows and other outlets once the channel begins to grow and I'm able to dedicate myself to it full time. This is the theater room where we'll be doing the reviews. The movie we're going to be reviewing today is The Fighter. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. The Fighter is a 2010 sport drama film. It's also a true story centered around half-brothers Micky Ward and Dickie Eklund. Both are professional boxers, but from different eras. These brothers are polar opposites, not only in demeanor, but also in the trajectory of their lives at this point. And it's hard to keep something together when it wants to fall apart. That's with anything. And that's the challenge these brothers and their family must face. From Lowell, Massachusetts, Micky Ward, played by Mark Wahlberg, and Dickie Eklund, played by Christian Bale, are the classic big brother, little brother, in the sense that Micky has chosen to follow in his brother's footsteps and has become a professional fighter. His brother Dickie was a former fighter and had reached impressive heights in his career, even taking on the legendary Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime. But that was the past, and Dickie loves living in it. It's now Micky's turn, and Dickie is all in on his baby bro, fulfilling his potential. At least that's how it initially seems, but his judgment is clouded in more ways than one. See, Dickie is a crackhead. He's taken a long fall from the prize fights with Sugar Ray. Not only that, he's his brother's trainer, and if anybody has ever known someone dealing with that addiction, they can be unpredictable as well as unreliable, as their priorities are getting high above all else. Micky is trying to navigate this situation and progress as a fighter while still keeping his brother close, and it's definitely not an easy task, along with trying to please his mother Alice, played by Melissa Leo, who is his manager, who seems only interested in the money her son can bring home to support the family, no matter how overmatched of a situation she puts her son into. And boy, is he overmatched often, seeming more like one of those punching dummies that you see in the gym than an actual fighter. At this point, Micky just wants to quit. Who wants to keep getting beat up when they put in all the hard work and preparation? Especially because of poor management. Management that's your own family at that. Micky's new girlfriend, Charlene, played by Amy Adams, notices this and decides to take on Micky's family for the sake of her man's physical and mental health. This means taking on the junkie trainer / brother and the greedy manager / mother and a whole starting 5+ of sisters. And Charlene is with it. No backing down in her. And it's always tricky trying to come in between someone and their family, especially when you just burst onto the scene out of nowhere like she did. This obviously causes tension within the family, and it only escalates when Charlene persuades Micky to do what's best for himself. And what's best for him in her eyes doesn't include his mother or brother in any capacity, not just business-wise. And after an intense scene outside of a restaurant that affects all parties discussed, it seems like Charlene was on to something. And the result is strained relationships within the family and animosity towards Charlene. Now incarcerated, Dickie is going through his own life transformation and seeing things a lot more clearly now that his mind and body is free of the demons that controlled him. Determined to change his ways and be a better man, he begins preparing to return to Micky as the clear-headed brother and trainer he always wanted, the one he always needed. But Mickey is finally getting a taste of winning and drama-free management. With some stipulations, though. His family can't be around. And good old Charlene is still the ringleader when it comes to keeping him separated from his quote-unquote crazy family. But all families have some crazy in them. It's still family at the end of the day. And yeah, success is sweet, but if the people that you care about aren't around to share with you, it becomes bittersweet. A feeling Mickey is beginning to experience for the first time in his life. But eventually, all the main characters have to face themselves and their own shortcomings, which brings them all together for the common good. Whether they like each other or not. Because it was always about Mickey, and always should have been. This was his time. What I like in a good sports movie is when it's unbalanced. I know that sounds crazy, but I've always preferred the story to outweigh the sports action. It makes the action scenes more impactful because you're already invested in the character's story. This movie does this about as well as you can do it. Look, you never want someone outside of your family driving a wedge in between you and them. But sometimes an outside opinion is needed because love and loyalty clouds judgment all the time. In the end, Dickie overcame, grew, and redeemed himself. Mickey took charge of his own life and decisions and learned to stop living for others, which made him a stronger man. Alice grew when she realized she was so focused on one of her son's past glory and current struggles that she had neglected the needs and wasn't supporting the other one like she should have. And lastly, once Charlene realized she was in no position to judge anyone's struggle or separate them from their loved ones, she was better for it. My movie ratings and reviews, my movie ratings and best performance award will be showing next, so continue watching until the end. Subscribe and like if you haven't already. And comments are welcome as I'll be looking to improve these reviews over time and possibly even taking requests. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.